How to create an abstract stink cloud animation effect in DaVinci Resolve 19.1.3. Inside your project's Edit window, go to Effects. Underneath Toolbox, select Generators. Scroll down your generators to find Noise Gradient. Click and drag one of these filters to your edit's timeline. Select your Noise Gradient edit, and holding Ctrl and press D to change the duration. Use Command instead of Control if you're a Mac user. The second pair of digits to the right represent the number of seconds, followed by the frame number to the right. Here in this example, I will set the duration to 12 seconds. Click Change when you're done. With Noise Gradient selected, go to Inspector and underneath Generator, with version 1 selected and Controls, increase Detail to 10 to increase the amount of cloud effects added to your gradient. To have the light and dark colour shades stand out more from one another, increase Contrast to 1.5. I will also increase Brightness to 0.15 to make the more vibrant aspects in particular stand out more, and to make the faint sections around the darker patches more apparent. To increase the amount of texture on screen, I will increase Scale from 2 to 5. And to implement a gentle animated effect, so that the particles that we add later on will change in appearance as they emit, decrease seeth rate slightly to 0.08 to prevent the form of the smoke changing as quickly. Now to add the colour shade for our stink effect. Select Gradient. Underneath the Gradient horizontal bar, ensure that the first triangular pointer to the left is selected, pointing to the colour black. Decrease the alpha value here from 1 to 0, so that this is now transparent and will enable you to use your stink animation effect in front of image files or videos, particularly those when the camera is in a static position. Now select the triangular pointer to the right next to Gradient to select the white colour shade. Double click on the white box below and enter the following hexadecimal code next to HTML in the colour window which appears to add a vibrant green colour shade to your effect, #44FF23. Click OK. Right click on your Noise Gradient edit and go to Open in Fusion page. With the Noise Gradient node selected in your window, go to click on the Merge tool. This should be automatically connected to the yellow arrow which represents the background. The reason why this gradient is not applied to the foreground of this Merge tool is because we will instead apply a circle effect as a mask to contain the Noise Gradient texture, which will make up each of our particles. Deselect Merge. To create the circular particles, go to click on the Ellipse tool. Connect this to the green foreground arrow of Merge 1. With Ellipse selected, go to Inspector and underneath Controls to add feather to the edge of your ellipse shape. Increment the value for soft edge. Here in this example, I'll increase this to 0.15. We may see the stink effect being cut off around the edges of each of the smoke particles. Decrement the value for width and height here to 0.35. Select Merge. And to have the green stink effect blend into each of the ellipse particle shapes, change Operator from Over to Mask. Deselect Merge. Go to add a P-emitter tool. With this tool selected, go to Inspector. To prevent too many stink particles from appearing on screen, decrement the value for number. Here in this example, I'll decrease this to 0.3. To ensure that the stink particles last on screen longer, I will also increase the value for lifespan from 100 to 150. For variation purposes in terms of particle spawning, I will change temporal distribution from all at same time to randomly distributed. Go to Velocity. To have particles rising up slowly, increment the value for velocity. Here I will change this to 0.02. To ensure that the particles rise upwards, I will change angle to 90. And to have the particle floating direction vary slightly, I will increment angle variance to 25. In order to use the noise gradients now as our particles, we need to be able to connect Merge 1 to P-emitter 1. At present, this is not possible. In order to do this, select Style, change Style from Point to Bitmap. You should now see a yellow triangular pointer alongside P-emitter 1. Double-click on the Merge line to disconnect this from Media Out 1. Click on the grey box alongside Merge 1 and connect this to the yellow arrow alongside P-emitter 1. With P-emitter 1 still selected, hold in Shift and press Space. Use the search box at the bottom of the Select Tool window to find P-Turbulence. Select this and go to click on Add. With P-Turbulence still selected, go to Add a P-Render tool from the Nodes menu so that your particle effect can be processed by DaVinci Resolve. Connect P-Render to Media Out 1. Reselect P-Emitter 1. Underneath Style once again, go to Size Controls. If I move the playback pointer to the middle of the Fusion timeline, below the preview window, we can see the particle spawning appear. To add variation to the size of the stink particles, I will increase size variance to 0.2. And to have the particles increasing over their lifespan, to illustrate the stink smoke drifting apart, I will go to the Size over Life graph and drag the node on the right to the top right corner so that the particles increase over the course of their lifespans. To have the particles fade in and out of this animation sequence, go to Fade Controls. To have the particles fade in the first 10% of their lifespans, I will increment in to 0.1. And to have the stink particles fade out after half of their lifespans have passed, I will change the value from out to 0.5. To have the stink particles emit from the bottom center, go to Region. Under Translation, change Y offset. Here in this example, I will change this to -0.28. And to have the particles vary in horizontal position slightly, select P-Turbulence. Change X strength to 0.04 so that the stink particles spread from left to right slightly as they rise. Reduce Y strength to 0.005 to avoid any abrupt vertical movement of the particles. And decrease Z strength to 0.04 so that there is slight variation in terms of how close or far away the stink particles appear. Once this is done, return to Edit. Underneath Toolbox, select Video Transitions. Go to Add Cross-Dissolve Transitions to the start and end of your animation to add fade in and out effects as illustrated in this example here. Select each of these transition windows and adjust the duration if you wish. Here in this example, for slower fade in and out transitions, I will increment the number of frames on either side to 30, with each transition lasting for 1.3 seconds. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that video was useful to you. If you enjoyed the content and wish to be notified about future uploads on this channel, please like, share and subscribe. Join me soon for another video. Take care.